And Anne-Marie Burke is here now with our very first look at sports. Good evening, Anne-Marie.
Well, good evening to you, Lisa. What I can tell you is that the zones are all wrapped up for BSAC as Christchurch Foundation and Harrison College are the girls and boys champions, respectively, of the Sol Estimator zone of BSAC. Now, last year's Double Crown champions, Foundation won the girls again with 468.5 points. Harrison College was second, 265.5, Aline 228, and Corjan Parry and Les Devon, they were joined fourth place on 172. In the boys, only 8 points separated Harrison College and Foundation. HC finished on 369, Foundation 361, Les Devon 265.5, Aline 258, and CP 217. Now we take our first look at today's action with the 400-meter event. Let's try out the final day of zone action with the 400 meters, and the under-13 girls race was decided on the back stretch where Ariel Archer made her move, and really and truly there was no looking back. 200-meter mark, her strides slowed, but she still maintained the edge. Calling all my Princess Margaret peeps, you've got a lot to cheer about. Archer, with grit and determination, heads for home a champion, the fastest under 13 girl quarter miler of the zone with a time of 65.39 seconds. Corjan Parry's Janaya Edwards, seen finishing second here, was actually fourth overall, as the top two finishers came from this heat. Picked up with just under 100 meters to go, were second and third fastest. Their Providence Secondary School's Ariana Allen and Dighton Griffith's Soraya Nichols. The times 65.63 and 65.97. The under-13 boys race was all sewn up in the first heat, and at the 200-meter mark, it really took shape from there. Front and center, Corjan Parry's Nikolai Clark said, "Catch me if you can," and Christchurch Foundation's Kayla Blackett was in hot pursuit. What would the final 100 serve up? Let's see. Clark extending those strides. Now in the chase, Parkinson's Nikolai Cox, but Clark holds on, stopping the clock at 61.83, Blackett 63.07, and Cox 63.28. On the 15 girls, down the backstretch they go, and the early focus was on Ali's Brianna Boyce and Harrison College's Chiara Hunt. And Boyce goes to the front, and it looks like she will be an easy winner, comfortably striding. But here comes Christchurch Foundation's Calicia Downs. Talk about making all the running when it mattered the most. Boyce fading as Downs powers home, and she does it. 60.75 seconds her time. Boyce crossing 62.18 for fourth fastest overall. Remember, these are fours, the under 15 girls, and the race was on. Shania Thomas of 8C takes over on the head for home. But watch the fast finishing Dighton Griffiths, Kishana Niles. These two were second and third fastest overall with clockings of 61.47 and 61.59. And my 400 run of the day belonged to Yazad Daniel of 8C. He was in lane 8. And talk about having to make all the running. And boy, did he do that from start to finish, all maroon and gold. I would say it was more him and the clock, and for 100 to go, the rest of the field was a mere shadow in the far rear distance. Daniel will be the fastest under 15 boy, over 400 meters on the day, 54.62 his time, and beautifully executed. Things are taking an interesting shape as finals are around the corner. To cricket now, where a bizarre second innings declaration by the Leeward Island Hurricanes gave Barbados Pride a win by an innings and 18 runs on the second day of their rescheduled fourth-round match in the Regional First Class Championship at the Viv Richards Ground in Antigua. The declaration may have also been a bit premature, as the Hurricanes' bid to hold on to second place failed, as the result moved the Pride into a position on 134.2 points, a mere 0.2 more than their hosts, who will secure third place. Starting the day on 154 for 4 off 46 overs, Barbados scored 191 for 8 declared off 54.5 in reply to a first innings total of 90 all-out off 38 overs after the first 45 minutes of play. Captain Shamar Brooks, he top scored with 82 after resuming on 79. With a first innings deficit of 101, the Leeward Islands were 83 for 2 of 90.5 overs when the declaration was made 40 minutes after lunch. Well, the Bangladesh cricket team escaped today's fatal shooting at a mosque in Christchurch, New Zealand. 49 people were killed in the terrorist attacks at 2 mosques, while more than 40 people were seriously injured. The Bangladesh team arrived at the Al Noor Mosque near the Hagley Oval, the venue of tomorrow's now-cancelled third test, when the shooting started. Bangladesh cricket says its players are safely back in the hotel and the team will travel home in the coming days.
And Anne-Marie is back with our second look at sports.
And it's back over to the National Stadium in some more action from BSAC today, where Harrison College claimed the boys' zone title and Foundation the girls on the final day of the Salt SC Maynard zone. Now we go into the fast lane with some 200-meter events. It was a humid day that brought out the umbrellas, but the real heat was on the track, especially in the sprints. Here's 200-meter action. On the 17 girls has a class act in Raquela Fagan on the outside in the blue and red of Dighton Griffith. From start to finish, she was the commando-in-chief. Final 30 meters and it was definitely done and dusted. Crossing the line in 25.04 seconds, head of Christchurch Foundation's Kyla Cummings, 25.57, who was second fastest overall. And here comes Dighton again, making his move. Mere strides into the race is Kristen Cummings, and off the bend he was in full flight. Final 100 meters and it was signed, sealed and delivered. No stopping him. 22.24 his time. He's on course to shake things up in this division come finals. The second and third fastest times are actually in this heat. It was quick like fire, and off the bend it was a battle royale between Parkinson and Shem Vaughn and St. George Secondary's Jamarco Gill. Now sliding in the shot on the inside. It was a mad dash to the finish with Gill going into overdrive. He even had time to disengage the knots at the end. The times 22.52, Vaughn 22.86. Into the big leagues, the under-20 girls, and she still has it. Hannah Connor watched the black and yellow of Christchurch Foundation go. Look at the power coming off the bend. Into the straight, the queen has stamped her authority, and in a time of 24.70 seconds. Dow Jordan's Giovanna Gustav just picked Parkinson's Sarah Lawrence to be second fastest with 25.60, Lawrence third, 25.63. The much anticipated under-20 boys did not disappoint, and this first he satisfied all the cravings. As with about 140 to go, the battle was on. Rasheem Griffith and Jamil Walks-Miller. And watch Walks-Miller change gears. Foundation posse, the boss is in town. He dismissed the field and in record time, 21.69, sending the old time of 21.72 out the window. Harrison College's Griffith concedes to second in 22.04. And I must show this heat because Julian Ford declared he is not to be counted out. He came off the bend, as we Bajans would say, like a pop kite. Look at this determination. He meant business, easing down for the second fastest time overall of 21.90 seconds. Now that's it in the zones. Next week, it's finals time. Now, the National Barbados Senior Netball team preparing for the World Cup has come against an article printed in one of last week's daily newspapers, which has suggested that there was trouble brewing in the camp. This stems from a recently retired player contending that she's willing to return to the squad if the present coach is replaced, suggesting that other players feel the same way. However, the current coach, Sandra Bruce Small, says she's very disappointed with the article, which she says is laced with untruths.
To read a story on International Women's Day like this, it was very disturbing. Netball is our highest ranked female sport. And on a day like that when you should be, giving preps in netball to ladies for doing well, here it is, you're pulling down the sport. The journalist is actually a female, which is even more disturbing. She did not ask for another side of the story. She just ran with these untruths. Then part of the story said that there were a few girls at training, that girls were disappointed, they didn't want to come. There was a whole set of untruths there. We have girls that are studying at UE. Then we have another young lady who's at Erdison doing her degree. Obviously, sometimes on Tuesday or Thursday when they have classes, obviously the numbers would not be as full as regular. But other than that, there's no issues that we knew of.
A few of the current players, including Vice Captain Demisha Croney, says she's also disappointed.
For an article to be written, especially on Women's Day, about the Bajan Gems, which is actually the highest ranking sport in Barbados, and the sport that is mainly considered for women, it was very disheartening, especially to be written by a female. So moving forward, we're really trying to put that behind us. We're really trying to put a positive message out there to get a positive outlook for the team, to encourage persons and let people know that the team is still doing well. We're still coming out here, we're sacrificing a lot, and we're putting our best foot forward.
For me, it's basically been a bit of a distraction. It's very disheartening because I see girls coming to training every day, sacrificing, doing the juggle to get ready for this tournament, making the commitment to this.
And that was skipper Rihanna Smart, who's looking ahead instead of focusing on the controversy that is going on within the team.